podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to The Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this is Dollar Beat.
BoxingVoice.com. No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar Nova. I feel like he was straight up and down, no really no special effects. BoxingVoice.com. How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app. BoxingVoice.com. I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
What up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. It is Sunday, May 3rd, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and we're ready to rock out. We got a jam-packed show for you lined up today. We're going to be talking Thor.
Yeah, he got that long-ass pause on that one, Mario.
What's going on over there? I thought he froze.
We're going to be talking Thor versus Eddie Hall.
Yeah. That's a prize fight, bro.
No, stick with the word.
Anyway, whatever those, we'll find out all about those guys in just a bit. Then we're going to be talking Bob Arum. Finally, you know, I guess in old age, thinking of the boxing fan, talking about we should drop pay-per-view prices. That's something to discuss. And Jermell Charlo back in the news again. Now this time it's to talk about Jason Rosario. And Adam Kownacki is looking for a rematch with Robert Helenius. Is it the right option for him, or should he go tune up? But this is what we're going to be talking about. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1. One time, voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Let me go on out to my co-hosts who've already chimed in. I had them a little bit shocked with the intro, you know?
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you know, I saw your face, so I was like, uh-oh, the boss didn't think it was a good call. But nah, I think it's definitely worth talking about. And it might be like a little cheap talking about it, but you know, the YouTube guys, you know, they've clearly shown that they can do numbers. They've clearly shown that they can draw attention. People are interested in people who they don't normally associate with boxing, actually boxing. So you have these two guys that are just mammoths. I think it's interesting. Doomy, what's going on, man?
I'm the most brutal and most vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one to stop me. Lynch the conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match.
What's up, y'all? You know, we back here with you guys, and there's a couple of things I liked about today's topics, man. And one of them was definitely Jermell Charlo talking about he really wants to fight Jason Rosario, you know, and he doesn't mind, you know, non-crowd, and he's really looking for them belts. And, you know, we got a couple of more other things to talk about. So, I mean, I can get into it ASAP with you guys right now.
Let's do it, Rocky.
Hey, yo, Adrian!
I meant like ASAP Rocky, my bad. Damn, y'all got really happy for the
Wah,
box. And
wah, wah.
both y'all were like horrified by the ASAP Rocky reference.
Damn, I thought you kept it boxing.
Yo, so I mean, I guess topic number one is Bob, right? Thor's number three. Thor's number three. So Bob and the prices. Wow. I like it. I ain't gonna front. I don't mind the fact that he wants us to pay less. That sounds good. And in theory, it sounds right. You know, it's like people are, you know, resorting to illegal pay-per-view streams because it's just financially not feasible. And if you chop that in half, which essentially is 50% off if you go with Bob's $40 rate, it does start to make sense. I mean, we're still paying more than the UK, which I don't understand. But
I'm thrilled about this, Ness. I'm thrilled. 80 to 40? What? You taking me back to what? Like early 2000, maybe late 90s?
Yeah.
Like, you're taking me way back right now. Like, stop playing Bobby Digital. The Bob Father's talking my language right now, saving me some money. So it's like, I like this 80 to 40. You know, it's simple mathematics. You got to love it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to lower the price, but you're going to make up in volume. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, it may be a gamble, you know, for him to, you know, have this model, because at the same time, you know, a lot of us ain't getting that same money we were getting when we were working. You know, COVID-19, you know, got us a little bit messed up. How much money really stimulus is helping, we don't know. But at the same time, it's like, I've always believed in entertainment. You know, ever since from the back in the day, you read throughout history, like the Coliseum was open, even when times were hard, the people were entertained. So it's like, this is good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good.
He took it back to the Coliseum days just because they chopped the price in half, Mario.
Yo, I'm telling you this. Like, I'm feeling good about this, man, because like at the end of the day, we're gonna get some entertainment for a lower price, and you know, it's not really like, you know, we're being affected because maybe we can't go there and, you know, and have a crowd. But at the end of the day, if the promoters and the fighters and managers, everybody that's involved in the sport can look at this as a time to adapt instead of a time to sit around and pout and waste time, because once you lose time, you ain't getting it back. So it's like you could be making money or not making no money at all. So, you know, this is good in my opinion.
Yeah, no, listen, it's definitely good. I remember Marquez Diaz, which, you know, if I was a better host, I would have looked that up in the background so I could have said what year it was, but I know it was early 2000s. I remember paying like $25-$35 for that, you know, and that was thought of as a lower tier pay-per-view in terms of like how much we wanted to see it, right? It wasn't the mega huge pay-per-views that we've come to expect. This was like, we all know why this is on pay-per-view. It's a fight that, you know, Marquez, it's hard to afford him. And so even though it wasn't really pay-per-view worthy, we got it there anyway. And so now you're talking about the big pay-per-views going back to around the price they used to be. Man, I'm all for it. I think, though, the one thing that it makes me wonder is, does this speak more about where we're headed in boxing, like as a whole, or does this speak more about, you know, what kind of fights we're going to be expecting during this whole time? I mean, can they really make a Spence Crawford $40? Or are they basically telling us, like right now with this announcement, hey, don't expect like that great of fights? Like, I really don't know what it's supposed to mean, but
it's COVID.
I'll stay optimistic, man.
It's COVID times, bro.
Let me touch on that
Arum,
because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick, Arum said it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to do it, okay, next guy up. This is unprecedented times, and it's like we don't. These are times that basically, like, you know, if you don't want to do it, there's another guy that wants to do it, and we got to keep moving forward, man. If not, like I said before, time lost is time lost. No money made. Go ahead, Ness. My bad.
I don't know anymore, bro. I'm trying to think of it. It was a quote that he said.
Yeah, but Arum is on that tip, though, you know. He's on the tip that if you're really not with it and you don't.
That's what it was. It was that instead of giving fighters huge guarantees, they could drop the pay-per-view to the 40 and give them a back-end number because they figured they would sell more pay-per-views at a lower rate, especially during COVID times. Because he said, normally people justified an $80 pay-per-view by getting together. And, you got 20 guys in the room, $5 each, we're good. We can't do that with COVID, so he figures dropping the price will raise the buys.
Yo, and like if you drop the price to 40 and you bank on people, like how much of a loss, it's already like at the gate you're already losing a certain amount. Let's make an example of the fights we've been talking about, like a Porter Terrence or something like that. Like how much are you losing at the gate? You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you're gonna cut the pay-per-views in half. So what kind of negotiations are we looking at, Ness? I know you're a little more savvy than I, in the business.
This is just the times that we're in, bro. It's like it's no different than when the market crashed and people bought houses at a cheap rate, and then not only did they get a cheap rate, but they also got a low price. Then they refabbed them and made hundreds of thousands. So it's no different. Those that can do business during this time will. Those that can't, they're going to fade out. This is just like you have to adapt your business model. You can't sit around and expect the world to fix itself. You have to find a way to work during COVID.
Sort of like accepting that the world doesn't revolve around you, sort of thing, right? You got to adapt.
I don't even know that you have to go that far. I just think that these promoters and networks, they're sitting back and they're looking at everything. I mean, we talked about stocks yesterday and the drop. So people they want that needle to turn around and start pointing up instead of continuously pointing down.
What kind of argument can you present right now for Bob? If you agreed with him, with the drop on prices, that it would be a successful outcome.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, what can you argue for that? Like, what guarantee can we get, or sort of guarantee can we get?
We don't have any guarantee, and it's gonna always be hard to give any sort of guarantee without actually trying it, because people might still steal. They might still steal. They might $40 and they're like, yo, fuck it, it's still COVID. I ain't paying for that. I'm gonna illegally stream.
Let's get it. A habitual. I mean, we could probably say safely like a habitual, illegal stream is gonna always illegal stream. Somebody that doesn't care is not. But like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they got a number already. Like,
I've never been into streaming, bro. I don't even understand people that stream. Every time I say this, people act like they got the best streams too. They get mad at me. They get mad.
Not the same.
They get mad at me and they be like, yo, that's because you ain't using this stream and that stream. And it's like, bro, stop lying.
Like, illegal streamers been around forever. I mean, even if we went back to our times, damn well we had the fucking black box. You go to the corner store and you had them do it up for you. You come back, you got everything. You got the adult TV, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's back in the day shit. This shit been going on for a long time. So it's like, what I can say is that, like, I'm pretty sure that promoters that have been in this game for a long time already got some sort of like a number for that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's different now because now it's like crazy.
But what do you mean a number? What do you mean a number?
A number of what they could take into account into their money making or whatever they want to call it, or what the people would steal in a fashion or so about how much money they would lose in illegal streaming, whether it be black boxes in the 90s, in the late 90s, or streaming now.
I mean, every now and then they throw out numbers. I think Wilder Fury 1 or 2 got streamed like 10 million times illegally, but like, how do they even know? I don't know, bro. I can't tell you,
I can't really know. I couldn't tell you what program or what computer program.
I don't even have friends that do streams. Like, if they do streams, they don't really tell me because they know I don't fuck with that.
I would like to think that a strong boxing community. That there's millions of us, you know what I'm saying, and millions of us that know what it is to not just watch the fight. I'm not
Yeah,
just
but
somebody
I
trying
don't
to
even
catch.
think
I
that.
want to party. I want I want to have a drink. I'm
Yeah, but
gonna make it
you
an
can't
event.
do any of that. You can't do it. It's COVID. There's none of that. That's the whole reason he's saying cut the price. Because people got together in the past to justify the $80. We can't get together anymore.
Yeah,
Yes.
he also likened it to the UK model, and he talked about why or how UK pay-per-views are so much more successful in terms of numbers over there. This is Arum I'm talking about who said this, and that his rationality is kind of the rationality we've had on this show for the past month. We've been saying all of this. We've said there are people at home, they'll buy the pay-per-view, make it a reasonable price and give them a product that's worth purchasing, and they will come through. And we will work to, make this happen and make it as successful as possible. And I truly believe that cutting the price is the first step. Creating solid cards from top to bottom is a way of keeping retention time and all these things that go into creating a production of high value. So it's a good idea. It's definitely a good idea, and it's definitely a way that it could cut into the losses that you're going to feel from popcorn sales and I mean tickets in general, right? So definitely it has to happen. It has to happen.
I'm curious. Where does this split really happen? You know what I'm saying? If I'm cutting the buys from 80 to 40, whose pockets are getting lighter in that half being cut? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the fighter? Is it the promoter? Are they splitting whatever is being already lost?
I think it's everyone at the end of the day. It's a mass. It's got to come. It's got to be centered around the entire industry. Not because it's boxing, but because it's a business in America. You know what I mean? Like, they're all going to cut costs. Like, everything's going to have to reshape because of what we're experiencing now. Every single aspect of our lives is going to get different. So, the I don't know if the trillionaires are going to turn to billionaires, are going to turn to millionaires, are going to turn to not millionaires. I don't know if that's going to happen. I highly, highly doubt it. But I think ultimately in industries, especially those that are, no, I'm not even going to say that part of it. But there's no way that every aspect of corporate America doesn't get hurt by this and people don't have to take hits. We talked to Ken Porter, and they are very aware of what's happening, and people know that they're going to have to take less money to move forward.
How does this model really succeed, though, Mario? Like, how does it? How do you really succeed in cutting it in half, and we're gonna in hopes of garnering of a higher volume in order to make up for that half price cut? How do we do that? I mean, you could probably chime in on that too if you wanted to.
Champ, all you're doing is asking the same question different way. I answered it, bro. We ain't gonna know until they do it because. Like illegal streams are there, and we can't factor that in. They're just gonna have to try. There's what data am I gonna give you? I could give you nothing. There's nothing to give you. There's no scenarios to give you. Only time we had $40 pay-per-views was a long time ago. I think Chavez Dudley was the last one.
I mean, but what is, if you were Bob Arum, what are they banking on? I mean, is it their marketing machine? I mean, we know that Top Rank has an ill-ass marketing machine.
You're making it more difficult than what it is. The story says they banking on the fact that people are home and the price is less. That's it. And they said that for the fighters, you stop offering them a guarantee and you offer them a back end. And I think for the network, he said, do like the UK. Give them 20, 30%. You know what I mean? Like, he is in the article, homie.
Well, for those of us that don't know, what is a back end?
Like $1 million to fight me, and I get $1 or $2 for every pay-per-view sold. And you get $1 or $2. That back end number is negotiated and it's dependent on the amount of pay-per-views. I think, I don't know, but people have had deals like that where you got to reach a certain amount of pay-per-views, then you get this much money. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys happen to stumble across an article that is called "Why Boxing Doesn't Attract More Young Fans"?
Nah.
Yeah, it was on Boxing Scene this morning.
Champ!
Yeah, why? It was a Thomas Hauser piece.
It was. Yo, Hauser lacks the personality of Burt Sugar so that he can have the longevity. You know, when you think of boxing writers, Burt Sugar's the, name to pop up unless you're Enrique and you say Sugar Burt. You know what I mean? Actually, it's Doomy that says Sugar Burt. He always confuses it with the tournament. But Hauser is nasty, champ. I said all that to say this, that he is really good at what he does, but he lacks that Burt Sugar personality, so he's not memorable. People don't know him. They don't seek out his work. But this article on why doesn't boxing attract more young fans is it's like spot on. I mean, I wanted to make it a morning show. I didn't even want to touch this, but because we're doing the
we still could, because I know where you're going with this, and it's only one facet of the article.
Nah, man, I was actually going into the fact that, the other answer to Doomy's question is, the other reason we don't know the answer to his question is because of this article and the fact that he's 100% right. We have no way of attracting fans like every other sport does that through school. He didn't even write that. Like he didn't even say every sport is in your elementary school. Like until we can get state-funded boxing programs back in school, boxing will never do, multiple millions of pay-per-views. It's just never gonna happen.
But like, even though that has slight, truths in it, like you would argue that nowadays, especially with like guys like Logan Paul, KSI, and the internet, like boxing is a lot more out there, even though it's not in the schools and maybe not part of like curriculums in school. Like the shit is really out there, and it's an Olympic sport.
Why boxing doesn't attract more young fans? Logan Paul and it being out there doesn't mean that it attracts people to the sport. New people to the sport. Like, where do we see it? How? You were an amateur. Where'd they find you at? Or did you have to seek it out? That's what I'm saying. Schools have extracurricular programs, and boxing isn't one of them. The article mentioned a stat that I would not know because I am so far from football, soccer, that there's no way I would know. But soccer viewership is up because kids are watching it more because it's part of the school system.
Yo, you just made you just made a huge, like a light bulb just lit up right now. I mean, like, you ain't even kidding, because like I was on the wrestling team, and wrestling is a contact sport. Like, why not have boxing as well in the high schools? Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? It's a physical sport. Shit's crazy.
It's the danger. You got the mommies who saying they don't want their kids, being hit, and we're losing.
Bro? Wrestling, I used to get slammed.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're gonna have to have a full blown debate in the auditorium with the parents and the children debating over how dangerous wrestling is compared to
versus boxing. You're absolutely 100% right.
It's got to be marketable, and that's what this article was spot on. Like, when the fuck is the last? Yo, I'm going to tell you how broken boxing is. That Mike Tyson put out 15 seconds of pad work and everyone reposted it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Everyone?
My whole feed.
That is viral. That's not boxing viral. That's full-blown viral. When you look on Twitter on a desktop and the size says trending, 78,000 tweets talking about this. Then another topic still about Mike. Another 33,000. Another 200 and something thousand. You go on Instagram and everybody, every rapper, every person, Everybody reposting. You Google Mike Tyson right now, and you get more articles about can Mike come back. It's insane. It's insane.
Mike take out all the top heavyweights right now.
Bro, they got side-by-side videos with Wilder now. It's insane. Like, he is a phenomenon. We don't have that anymore. We need Mike to go to schools and do, you know what? It's been so long since what was it called when we would get called to the auditorium and have a guest speaker?
They were called, damn it. I don't remember.
Well, Mike needs to go recruit. Bruh, I never seen nothing like that.
Assemblies.
I never seen nothing like that. Mike went viral. Now he out here. He working out every day now. There's another one out there of him in white. Now he got white. And my man stay working out in briefs. He love boxing in briefs, huh?
Bro, that's his whole life. Yo, he in shape. He looked in shape, though, bro. That shit surprised me, yo. I looked at his waist and shit. I was like, damn, Mike don't even look like he got a belly right now.
Bro, Mike got the world. Listen, Mike can do a pay-per-view right now.
Yo, hit him in the chizzy. What's his? My man.
You really think Mike could do a pay-per-view right now?
With Cannon Briggs all day.
Oh my God.
It would, yo, the whole fucking wood, my nigga.
Everybody would buy that shit. Let me tell you, I don't think Mike lasts 3 rounds. 15 seconds ain't got nothing to do with 9 minutes.
He got 5 in him. He got 5 in him. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. And Mike Tyson has done, charity bouts in the past with a couple of guys, but like,
ain't he doing an exhibition? They said.
Yeah, but I don't know if Cannon Briggs was trolling or not, but he had something up with like with Mike Tyson, like what if or whatever. But like, if he would do something with Cannon Briggs, bro, I'm buying.
See,
if it was
that,
I'm buying.
Yeah,
it.
listen, that would like shatter records. I can agree with that for sure. Like, I guess. If I think like Mike Tyson pay-per-view, I'm like, okay, if this isn't something that's actually for boxing, like he's not going to actually fight Andy Ruiz or Deontay Wilder or, AJ or Tyson Fury, then I'm all for it. Then let's great. Yeah, Shannon Briggs, that's cool. Let's get one of the YouTubers to gain about, 15, 20 pounds and have them do it. Then I'm okay with that. But if you guys really think that like it would be a good idea to put Mike in the ring with a top 10 heavyweight of today.
No.
Okay, good.
No, I'm talking about Mike could come back right now and do a fucking pay-per-view. But it's a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? It's the comeback. He's coming back. George came back at 40. Can Mike really do it? I'm telling you, people would pay.
Can Mike come back?
Bro, it would look great.
They would pay.
Right now, no audience.
Bruh.
No audience. Mike versus Cannon Briggs.
Man, why you keep doing Shannon, bro? Like, nah, man.
No, because, Shannon.
Well, who are you thinking of?
Hardcore, you know what I mean?
Well, who are you thinking of, Ness?
Hardcores would at least respect that. You know what I mean?
Hardcores would not respect that, but
also, who you trying to put Mike in there with?
I know this man's about to say Wilder or something.
He said he gonna say somebody from the top 5.
He's trying to get Wilder that Chavez check, that Canelo check.
I'm actually not, and your suggestion is the best one because of popularity. Like you got to think about another old guy that's popular.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
And Lennox is out there, but he ain't moving like Cannon and Tyson. They got like youth still in them. Like Lennox on some really old shit. It looked like he don't be moving like that. You don't see him ever doing clips.
I don't know. He looked in shape when we was in podcast, bro.
Yeah, but you never see him moving. And I mean physically moving.
Oh, okay. You mean like in the boxing gym and shit?
Just period. Like you never see him do. You never see him do any of the mannerisms that Tyson or Shannon Briggs do. Like show me videos of Lennox doing anything that Tyson and Briggs do at this age.
Like, but not just that. How they're doing it. Like if you look at Mike Tyson, right?
That combination looked ill.
Yeah, and the cover of his book, right, and it's his face, like, you could see this man has had a hard life. His chin used to look like it was cracked from granite, my bad, you know what I'm saying, like wood, and now it looks like, kind of like Play-Doh, because he's had a hard life. He's had a rough life, but he is still physically phenomenal. He still moves like, it gives you, these memories, and it brings it all back because you could just see it. It's peppered in there sometimes, but sometimes you could just see it. He's still explosive. He's still such a great athlete that, he's definitely a phenom, because I don't think that's normal. Like, that's not natural. People shouldn't move like that still.
What was different in Tyson's era and this era, though? Because, like, is football or basketball, like, any bigger than it was when Tyson was around? Like, why is he so memorable to people?
Bro, I'm going to say it simply in, like, it was like, everybody, this was the first guy that everybody would tune in to, pay for the pay-per-view, but knew you were going to get a short show. You always wished that it would last long. Mayweather was like, we can't wait to see this guy lose. You know what I'm saying? We can't wait till this guy lose. Mike Tyson was always like, we can't wait to see him go the distance. You know what I'm saying? He had that KO effect, man, that veracity and that look. It was so much that Mike Tyson gave him around those times, and I'm not saying that Deontay Wilder, Deontay Wilder is by far the scariest heavyweight out of all of them. That, like, his whole attitude, that he had the most knockouts. So, but
Wilder will not go down like Tyson.
You know why?
He's got to come back and do way more. If he retires right now, he ain't gonna get the same love that Tyson get.
He's not, because in the fashion, look, he had a lot. Look, he's had the pressure from the rip. Deontay Wilder, I think, I don't know him like as that close, but, like, I'm pretty sure he already came to terms with the amount of pressure he was going to have on his shoulders from the rip. You know what I'm saying? He was just like a trout from the beginning, swimming upstream with trying to gain the fans and trying to let the people know that he was the real deal and always trying to prove himself. So it was always pretty hard for Wilder.
So another part of the article is he's like, kids don't go to boxing matches as part of their community, and that's what I'm saying about the only way to grow the sport. And obviously I ain't give it zero thought except right now, but I think is putting it back in school. Because remember, like, you go to the football games, you go to the pep rallies. Like, that's what being a teenager is about, like being around your high school friends. So if boxing isn't part of school, you are the one that is now not going to the pep rallies, not going to the games. You out of the loop. You ain't in the car no more. So they got to make it a school activity, man. Imagine varsity jackets. I would have loved the varsity jacket.
So USA Boxing is part of the amateur program. They would literally have to talk with the Board of Education, and I'm pretty sure in Washington or whatever, the highest power may be, in order for them to implement that into the schools. And
dude, the biggest part, the way you do it is by self-defense. You go into the crime rate. You get your mayor to go into the crime rate and bring it to the schools like that. This is part of this curriculum. This is part of PE, physical education. Your gym teacher must be a certified boxing coach. You must do a certain amount of hours, because at the end of the day, how many little kids getting beat up anyway? How big and bad is bullying these days?
Yeah, but as optimistic as that sounds, and it sounds good, especially for me, I'm a boxing fan, but you got to also take into account that people don't want to promote quote-unquote violence in the schools. There's enough bullying going around and stuff like that. So it's like arguments could be made that you can defend. Hold on. Arguments could be made that you can defend yourself, but at the same time, there's no really way for the educational system to have the information on hand to make the decision and say, okay, well, most of the students are going to learn discipline. They're going to learn control. They're going to learn to defend themselves so other bullies can bully themselves. It just doesn't work like that. So, it has to be, I think, implemented in a way where it's like a special program. You know, in the beginning, you're gonna have to have certain types of educational attributes as a student. You know, maybe attendance records.
Because
there
first of all,
there has to be. Hold on, there has to be some type of
damn,
requirement.
how many hold-ons you get, my nigga? You gonna have to let people jump in the conversation with you.
Well, there are requirements for student athletes, though. You know, a certain grade point average. They have to attend class a certain amount. Like baseball players, go through it. Football players go through it. Like, there is a cost to being an athlete. A student athlete. That's the word I was looking for.
Absolutely. When you're in college and even high school, you got to have a certain GPA. I get it. So, yeah, some requirements will be needed, but a special program, I think that is alienating. And you got to remember that boxing is a blue-collar sport. So there can't be too many restrictions because it was already a sport for the people. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just saying, again, like Doomy said, I'm a boxing fan, so I'm optimistic about it. And I just think if it gets implemented as part of the curriculum in physical education, we're starting early. You know, you can get the same way I watch movies of like a high school that is falling apart and, the students lack discipline and they got some old coach that went to the NBA and did okay in some fucking state I never heard of and turns the team around. It's all I'm saying. So, like, why can't we get a fucking Jermaine Teller or whoever else a Chop Corley? There's definitely fighters out here.
There's a couple of names out there.
There's definitely fighters out here that could do with a annual teacher salary for a gym teacher.
Damn, what a great
boxing
idea.
Instructor.
Wow. I never thought of that. You're absolutely right.
So listen, one last thing. I know I was long-winded. He spoke about discipline. Bro, I was put in karate when I was at the age that I'm saying let's implement this into school. That's why you bring in the professional instructor for the discipline, because he's right. Not everyone is going to be disciplined, but those are the people that get ejected from the program. Those are the people that are going to be sad when they see, Doomy wearing his varsity jacket because he got four knockouts or some shit. You know what I mean? But if we don't start fantasizing basketball, basketball, look at me, because that's the fucking problem. If we don't start fantasizing boxing and giving kids incentives like jackets, something, Floyd might need to start. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Floyd, but guys like Floyd and Tyson, they might need to start hitting up auditoriums, man. Doing them talks, them inspirational talks, and kind of recruiting.
My only worry is that, the one thing that football has received negatively, and I mean this as a whole, from being available in the schools and at the youngest of ages, is that it's put it on the crash course with really evaluating head injuries and CTE. Football has been attacked aggressively for years. Right or wrong, and that's fine. I agree with you 100%. But I think that if somebody who is an activist and really gets blinded by what they're doing sometimes and only focuses on what are the repercussions of CTE or the repercussion of CTE, they start fighting the cause no matter what, and they start trying to put and then you're going to see boxing on the forefront of Time Magazine with people who are trying to shut it down, and you're going to see people protesting in Congress, and it just turns it into a shitstorm. That's the only thing I would hope doesn't happen. But
as far as the CTE
I'm still
goes,
optimistic.
As far as the CTE goes and the head injuries, that shit ain't going nowhere, champ. We all know it. Football is one of the biggest businesses in America, and it ain't going nowhere. Don't matter how many kids get hurt. That's why they are doing what I'm saying we need to do. That's why there's Pop Warner football. You could be 5 and 6 and 7 getting hit in the head in Pop Warner. Then you go to elementary. Wait a minute. Then you go to elementary and play for your elementary school. Then you go to high school, play for your high school, college, and then NFL. So, man, we need to do the same thing. Let me tell you, the reason those sports are thriving is because there's business in them. If we put boxing in schools, hopefully, because I'm just dreaming here, but hopefully, when West Side plays Barringer, there's 20,000 kids in the, I don't even know how many kids are in school these days, right? But, that's the only way you're going to build it. The same way that these teams are playing, these other school teams are playing each other. You got to build these champions right from high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, my school's playing your school. My welterweight, my heavyweight, just like that. Headgear if you got to use headgear. 20-ounce gloves if you got to use 20-ounce gloves. But they could start early.
Let's dig deeper. I mean, you're making a lot of good points, but let's dig deeper. Like, why isn't boxing in the schools?
The money. You got to figure a way to monetize it in school. Remember, schools are making money off the players, and they don't pay them nothing. Nothing. You don't get paid shit to play football. But we sell your jersey.
Warner, when you in Little League or anything like that, like, bro, you ain't really making money.
Not Pop Warner, but in high school, there's a budget. If your team is good, your school gets a certain amount of dollars because your school is good. And the same way for college too. So they making money. They sell those jerseys. Your jersey gets sold.
So
they sell seats to the games. They sell concessions at the games. Boxing needs to figure out a way to do the same. It's no different.
USA. The thing is, like, USA boxing is the amateur. Like, when we speak about boxing, like, we take it as far as, like, like 10-year-olds. Like, we got little guys boxing. So it's like, I don't think that it's necessarily like they look at the sport as a danger, because obviously football, I mean, you just, like I said, little light bulbs be lighting up sometimes when you say certain things. And it's like you said, like Pop Warner and all that, and all the way up to high school, you taking hits for a long time. It's like you could kind of like compare it to an amateur career. Like, you taking hits for a long time.
Well, that was like Carlos Hernandez story, right? What was his name? The guy that was his thing. He played football for so many years. By the time he made it, they said his brain was done, and that's why he was doing all the crazy shit.
You're talking about Aaron Hernandez.
There you go. I got the name wrong. I knew it.
They had a dope documentary, right?
No, that was a good ass movie I seen. I don't know what it was, but it was good.
So going back to that is like, all right, so it's like, let's think about it. I mean, we really think about it, football being compared to boxing is like, you take a lot of hits in football. So it's like, is it really the danger factor, or is this something else behind it that's not allowing maybe boxing to get into it? Because, I mean, we had boxing. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to schools, but in jail, back in state prisons, we had boxing in those programs, and then all of a sudden it was taken out.
It's funding, man, finances. You got to figure out a way to make money.
So you make it a sport that, I guess, you sell it to the parents as a sport where you can, like, have a future and make millions.
Someone in the chat said, get the Charlos to go to schools with their chains on in their Lamborghinis and change people's opinion.
Influence the youth.
But that's what I'm telling you. It's going to take a Mike Tyson. It's going to take someone to start going to the schools to recruit. But it's more than recruiting. I think that the answer, I'm stuck on this one idea that popped in my head for this show. It's implementing it into the curriculum. That's the only way.
Why is karate not in the curriculum?
Because that shit is whack. Who the fuck takes off their shoes to fight? Get out of here, bro. Step on your big toe right now. Beat the crap out of you.
The reason I say that's funny as fuck. But the reason I say that is because, Ness, like, it has to be that they're looking at it as a violent sport, even though football is way more like impactful.
Alex, you're repeating yourself, champ. You're repeating. We know that it's It's the black sheep of the sports. We know that. Again, the answer is finding their way they can monetize it, all the way down to the high schools. How can high schools
monetize wrestling though, Ness?
What
Like,
you
why
mean?
are they allowing wrestling where I could get my net? Yo, bro, like I told you, I've gotten twisted up. You know what I'm saying? That wrestling shit is rough.
But those wrestling programs are funded, bro. I bet you Google that's someone is bro. I watched the movie, matter of fact, about with the dude from Magic Mike. Remember Magic Mike?
What's his
Channing
name?
Tatum. Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Yeah.
All right, he did a movie, bro. He did a movie about wrestling. Jesus, you never seen that movie? God damn, he opened my eyes. Some real life shit too, bro.
Damn, I don't remember off the top.
I believe he was being abused sexually by his coach.
Oh, yeah, the Fox something, like he was part of the college or whatever.
But yeah.
My man picked him up in a helicopter.
But yeah, yo, wrestling is a big fucking thing, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. As long as we get it funded. Dude, why do you think soccer's all of a sudden in schools now? Because there's money in it. They found ways to make money. They selling tickets at these games. Something is happening. Something is on TV too. Why do you fucking ESPN be putting softball on, bro? It's crazy. They got women's softball before Friday night fights. Like, look, man, we got to find a way to make money. And the problem with that is, if we don't put it in the schools, there's no way to team boxing. And by not being able to team it, no one can root. Kids been rooting for the Bulls versus the Lakers all their life. You can't do that with boxing. Floyd's gone. Tyson's gone. Ali is gone. We need to team it. We need to give something that could be embedded in people's minds. Some way to, you know what I mean? Even like, again, like basketball did the Dream Team, right? I know the Olympics is there, but it ain't as popping as the Dream Team. If you want the Olympics to be popping, I know Mauricio's against them pros, but send the Dream Team in. Send the Dream Team. America got behind that shit. I didn't even watch basketball, but I remember the Dream Team because, dog, everybody's patriotic, champ. It's like, yo, they about to represent for us, and that was a badass squad. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta glorify, you gotta make children want to be the next. Everybody want to be the next 6ix9ine and fucking Little Pump, man. They want to make money.
But even though like it is what it is, that we still haven't like had that that program implemented, that outlook on the sport in the schools. We're still living in a time, bro, that I think we're not too far from that. I don't think we're too far from that because the sport's getting a lot of coverage, and because of the internet, because of the way we communicate on social media and everything else, and guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, guys like that, they're just putting so much good attention and specific attention from the fans at their age groups nowadays that I have hope, man. I have hope that maybe we'll get to a time where we'll have that in schools, like, you're going to your wrestling match, you're going to the boxing match. I think that the sport's growing and that the violence of it, even though we know that the essence of it is a bit brutal, that we're still coming to an age where so much more has been. I mean, Jack Rice told us the other day that the 8-10 count rule didn't come in until after Jack Dempsey, and Jack Dempsey I'm a big fan of, and his time and the way they fought, they were brutal, man. Like, bro, you'd be hanging on the ropes and like trying to get up, and the guy could hit you from the back and jaw you. You know what I'm saying? So it's come a long way, and at this point in age, with all the technology and everything else, I think that we could say it's a hopeful thought.
Yeah, man, but we still need a way to grow it. We need a way to grow it, man. And, the word grow, you can't do it backwards, man. You got to start from the seed, and the seed is in the beginning, man. And if we don't catch them in the beginning, we'll never get them. But they need to realize that There's a lot of money in boxing. You know, I think the team aspect of it would be good though. You know, like East Side Highs. I keep saying basketball. This is because that's the thing, because boxing and high school just don't mix. But you know, East Side's High's like boxing program or team. You know what I mean? And you get, you know, try to get one of every division. You know, you always had a chubby dude in there. He could be the heavyweight. I was a frail dude in high school, man. I was like 160.
Damn.
I remember, and maybe it might be different for y'all, but I remember the kids that were boxers in schools. There weren't that many. Like, I had friends that were boxers, but they were like around the neighborhood. Like, they were in different ways that I've met them, you know. But the ones in schools, like, I don't know, they're kind of,
bruh.
I don't know how to put it. Like, they weren't bullies, but it was like, oh man, that kid's a badass. Like, that kid's a hard. And then they kind of carried themselves like, yeah, I box. Like, what?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they were always they were always the ones that thought like, oh, they couldn't get their ass beat, like stuff like that.
Yo, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, bro. And let me tell you how small the world is and how bad like boxing has always had it. Like, I went to school with Jerson Ravello. Like, he's an Olympian.
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I played ball with him every day after school in Abington. Anybody that's from Newark knows about Abington ball, and like that was like the after school, you know, gym that was open all night. And I never
Straight Dominicano.
I never did fuck with him like that. Like, you right, he was kind of a bully, borderline. You know what I'm saying? But he was sharp, man. He was sharp. It's freaking crazy that he eventually, you know, turned pro, and he did well. He became like a gold medalist for the Dominican Republic because he didn't make the U.S. team, so he went to DR and medaled up with them. And he eventually fought Alan Green and Andre Ward. He lost to both, but you know what I'm saying? Like, to be a Dominican, you know, his family probably were immigrants, you know what I mean? And he didn't do too bad, you know? He didn't do too bad, but it's like I said, I knew him more for basketball than I did for boxing because he could really play ball. And that's the problem, you know what I mean? Like, even though I went to school with him, you think I went to one of his fights? No. And he had a couple fights at the Robert Tree. I promise you, I would see the flyers and not wanna go.
North, Robert Tree, North,
Robert Tree. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get the fuck out. I'm gonna go to the Robert Tree Hotel. Man, no.
Yo, you know what was fun though? And again, maybe it sounds like we had a mutual experience there, so that's cool. But I think with the story I'm about to say now, maybe I'm the only one who had this experience. Maybe, I don't know. But I grew up a huge fight fan, right? So I'm in high school, and I followed the sport religiously. You know, I had a Ring magazine subscription. You know, we would let it pass for a little bit because, you know, we didn't have all the money in the world. So I was very educated on the sport for a person in high school. I didn't know everything, but for a person in high school. Yo, we had this kid who was just on Front Street. Like, he went to another school. We ended up at a party, and I'd been hearing rumors like, oh, he's this big boxer, and he's getting signed. And I knew how good he was. I knew how good he wasn't. And, like, he had just told, like, this story about signing with Top Rank, and Bob Arum came to his house, and he signed for $10 million, and just, like, stuff you would hear about NFL players and MLB players. So he clearly didn't know how it worked. He clearly didn't know what money, you know, was like for boxers at that point in their career. He just went off of, like, what NFL players get, you know, or college players get to go to the NFL and drafts, and yeah, you know, it was weird having to, like, not call him on his bullshit. You know, it was weird to have him front and all the girls be like, oh my God, he's getting a Mercedes and they're flying him to Vegas and they bought him a house. And I'm just sitting there like, no, they didn't. Like, they would never have done that for him. Like, he's lying, but it was just weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just thought of that.
He definitely ain't getting no $10 million sign.
Nah, he did not. He did not. He went pro and he went, I think, 0-4 and then retired. He had a kid.
Yo, I don't think they've ever given anybody that type of... I can't even think of a name that would receive that sort of a signing bonus. Like, no Andre Ward. I don't even think... you know, obviously now in retrospect, maybe Bob Arum would have gave Floyd $10 million, but I know back then he didn't give him no damn $10 million signing bonus.
Nah.
No way. But let's move on, man. Jermell Charlo, keen on fighting Rosario in front of no audience in his quest for all the belts. It's too big a fight for me to do it without an audience, but I guess that is the question. You know, is it too big a fight to do without an audience, or is it the perfect for Jermell to become a crossover star fighting in front of a quarantined audience, meaning all these people in their house? Maybe more people get to see Jermell versus Rosario.
Yo, that's the way it happens. You know, that's the way it happens when it happens to be, you know, an HBO fight. And obviously I'm going a little further back here, but there happened to be an HBO fight night where people found themselves at home on a particular weekend. You know, I would always get people coming up to me like, yo, did you see this Donaire guy? You know, who is this Donaire guy? And, you know, he just flattened Montiel. So it was like the hugest thing. I mean, he was just amazing in terms of talkability, water cooler moments. That's what he had. And it paid off. So this is the type of fight to me where it could produce a certain fight so good that it would capture the imaginations of people who are just the casual boxing fan, and it could lead him to be a crossover type of star.
For me, it's a tough fight to make. Rosario, you know, he's with Samson. I don't know what he brings in the press conference. This is just like the last fight, I think. You know, I think Samson knows it. And Charlo's just that guy that unfortunately he's going to be chasing people forever, you know, but it's not going to be easy for him to unify. It's not.
What, Jason, who does Jason Rosario go next?
He got mandatories, and I'm sure he got voluntaries, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely not happening next for sure.
They got to pay him. They're going to have to pay him, I'm telling you. They're going to have to pay him. And a chunk of that is going to go to Samson.
Here's the thing, though. It goes back to what we were talking about with Arum. You know, is it a feasible fight to pay them if it's, you know, $19.99? You know, I paid $19.99 to watch or Ness did rather. I haven't yet, but we were going to do it this weekend. We ended up not, but we were going to pay $19.99 to watch the man. What's it called? The Invisible Man. You know, and that was out in theaters. It didn't get to make that cut, but we're going to pay to watch it. We're going to pay our $20 to watch it. So would I do that for Rosario? Would other people do that for sporting events? I don't know. Maybe.
Did you watch the trailer for Invisible Man?
I did watch the trailer for Invisible Man. Yes, it looks very good.
But that doesn't fuck it up for you?
Yeah, very much so. I hate that. I hate when they put the best parts of the movie in the trailer.
Well, they stay doing that.
I don't even think it's the best part of the movie. I mean, they just fucking gave the whole Invisible Man part away in the trailer. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it more for you, but it's like, yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on home release now. Like, you could get it on your cable box or whatever now. You know what I mean? They have it out there. It's all right.
Oh wow, maybe it'll be cheaper that way because we were gonna buy it. We ended up getting
Nah, you don't.
Yeah,
you can
we ended
rent
up getting
it.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, you can rent. Uncut Gems is good, man. Poor fucking
It
Adam
was.
Sandler, man. Poor
I wish we would have
Adam
gotten part
Sandler.
2, but oh well. Yeah, but anyway, so all of this is to say, look, it's kind of cheating because me and my wife are the type that do go watch movies. We're the type that get excited to watch movies. So yeah, we would pay $20 to watch Invisible Man. You know what I mean? But
The Zone right now, because The Zone should be capitalizing. You know what I mean? Like, they are on a subscription. They can easily get eyeballs on them now because they're on a fixed rate where it's like you're saying, you're like, well, they'd give me Charlo, I'll pay 20 for that, I'll pay 40 for that, and another 40 for this. And with them, it's like, yo, just give us 10, 20, you know, and we got this. But no one could put on fights right now, but they have the best model. See, Arum's trying to compete with them. He's trying to go down to 40, and he's still more expensive, and he's doing it fight by fight. The Zone would still be in the lead the minute the ball opens up. Canelo's going out there. That's why he's in training. They think in September. And honestly, I believe September now. How about you? Has anything changed for you in Texas? Because they are wilding over here. They let loose on restrictions, man. People are they chilling out here, bro. There was block parties around this motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it's definitely much, much, much more crowded out there. We even drove by a couple of apartments, and their pools were just filled to the max, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? My dad said he spent 3 hours at Walmart on Saturday, and that had not been the case. He said it was so busy, it was just like one line, like people were like ants moving. You know, and because there was that rule where it was like, you know, if you're gonna go to the grocery store, just don't bring your family. Like, you have to be one person going to the grocery store. You know, yesterday was like the first time where I'd seen multiple families, like family members together shopping. So, you know, it's definitely gotten more relaxed.
Yeah, man. So moving on to your topic, man. Talk to me. Your man broke a record. And
My man broke the record, yeah.
And now,
Go ahead, Mario. Introduce us to this guy from Game of Thrones.
So wait, but who is he in Game of Thrones? He's the one that they
brought back to life, the Mountain.
Oh, he's with Cersei.
Spoilers.
He's with Cersei.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cersei's bodyguard, for those that are familiar with the show, the undead bodyguard. Like, if you see him now, you could recognize him better from that fight he had with the prince when he got his eyes and he squished him out of his head like a melon. He definitely, you could see the resemblance there, but obviously he wore a mask the rest of the time for the show. But yeah, he is the Mountain. Yesterday, he did have a world record-breaking deadlift of 501 kilograms, which is over 1,100 pounds. And yeah, it was televised on ESPN. I mean, if y'all saw it yesterday live, the live streams were amazing. They were huge.
I heard the live stream got to like 191,000 people.
300. Yeah, it got from the main channel that it was viewed on. It was upwards to 100 something. But I mean, it was watched all around the world. It had so much interest. And following the event, I guess we'll call it the post fight. It was the post lift interview. They asked what's next. And Thor looked into the camera. And now what you have to understand before I tell you this, Eddie Hall is the previous holder of the record. There was a lot of hoopla made when he broke it, which he broke it on a world stage of an event. You know, Thor obviously couldn't do that because of quarantine. But there was a lot of hype towards his. Not as much social media hype as Thor's, but Eddie Hall had his own movie. It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. It's really good. It was a huge monumental moment because nobody ever thought that you could get to 500 kilos. Nobody ever thought that was possible. It was like the 4-minute mile. So in retrospect, like, what was going on is they were beefing over this, right? And they were talking shit back and forth about who's going to break the record and how and everything. So Thor, during the post-fight, called Eddie Hall out and essentially said, you know, this company is giving me a contract of 7 figures to fight Eddie Hall. Eddie, I know you got that contract to fight me. It's 7 figures, biggest payday for both of us by far. Let's make the fight happen. And I, for one, could not be more excited. These are 2 mammoth human beings. They are ginormous. Thor stands at 6'9". He weighs over 400 pounds. Eddie Hall weighs over 400 pounds. These guys are just, I mean, they're giants. Imagine seeing them in a boxing ring. You know, this is prize fighting at its height.
I don't know about prize fighting. It would be.
Well, it'd be for
I
think
the Zone should pick it up. You know, like it strikes me as a DAZN one-off. I just think that he's so bulky that it's gonna be, you know, those funny fights. But I will watch it. Because come on. I mean, look. I guess everybody ain't from the hood, but come on, man. Anybody that's from the hood has seen a dude this muscular look terrible fighting. Like, they can't fight.
Oh yeah.
They can't throw. They too wide. They can't throw. He's gonna have to lose so much muscle mass, and he's not, because these dudes are, you know, the egotist. Like,
how many rounds though, Ness? It's not like they're gonna go 12.
Yeah,
homie,
they could go like maybe 4.
It don't matter. And 4, I guarantee you 4. They're gonna be looking like us, like me on Border Wars.
Purple.
What? draping on each other, holding, bruh. The muscles need oxygen. They too big. They go
You think a special reinforced ring is in effect?
Definitely, they need to do reinforced ropes, bro. Definitely. Because rings are steel. Rings are made of steel. It's the ropes. They need to go 8 ropes for them big motherfuckers.
I don't see why they couldn't do like a 3-round fight.
3 round. I hear you. All I'm saying is be prepared for the wildest, loopiest, come from your ankle shots ever. You know, and very like they ain't got. Come on, bruh. You think they get
into like a? You think they get into like a inside overpowering match, like up against the ropes, leaning and like how does it look? Cause like yo, I don't know if you noticed this, but Hafthor is like a big fight fan.
Bruh,
like
I know he trains with the what's my man name? The from Iceland. We had him on the other day. I know that, but dog. See, I don't know. I guess it's an inner city thing, man. Dudes with muscles can't fight, man. It's just the bottom line.
No, but listen, it would be one thing if they were fighting like Deontay Wilder or Fury or something. Yeah, they get their ass beat, and that would all be a huge disadvantage. But they're fighting each other.
And that's
they
what
both
I'm
have
saying.
T-Rex arms.
Yeah,
so that's why to me it's
gonna
awesome,
be funny.
you know?
That's what I said. It's gonna be funny. I will watch it. I think it's a DAZN fight. It falls right in line with the Antonio Brown, Logan Paul's type of fights they were trying to make.
Sure.
You know, so I'm hoping that the 7-figure deal he's talking about is coming from a network like DAZN and not ESPN picking this shit up.
It's actually coming from a oh man, I was just reading it. I'm sorry. It was from here it is right here. It's like a workout company type, like an exercise type of company. Core Sports Contract. That's what it was. Core Sports is the name of the place. So yeah, they represent No, they don't represent. They represent other athletes. Sorry, but listen, Thor stands at 6'7". All right, and he is over 400 pounds. You know, Eddie Hall, who stands at 6'2", about 645 pounds last time he was measured. But Eddie's 32. Eddie's 32 and Thor's 31. So,
bruh, the small dude with the muscles is gonna lose to the big dude with the bigger muscles. Because he's gonna have bro, I'm telling you, you can't punch with those muscles. Is there video of this dude hitting the bag? I gotta go on his Instagram because I know he like boxing. He better have some fucking Instagram videos hitting the bag. I bet you he look trash.
Yeah, he does that shoulder thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's his name?
It's almost like they're swimming.
Thor. Oh, that came up quick. Fucking spying on me.
Yeah, everybody's. I'm telling you, and that's the other thing. It's gaining a lot of interest.
That's Google spying.
Bro,
on me,
I was
man.
amazed at the live numbers. Like I didn't. Bro, like everybody knows, weightlifting is huge. Like I followed some of the guys on Instagram. Shout out to Strength Cartel. And like they really get those numbers in, but like when I saw the live at 320,000, I was like, damn. And that was at one of the channels that I was watching. I could imagine the other channels that they were broadcasting that shit. That shit's crazy numbers. Like there's a lot of people that are interested in that. So it's like imagine those numbers spilling over to boxing. Like there's gonna be plenty of people. Like Ness said, the DAZN deal all day. Logan Paul, KSI, all written all over it. Like it's just another play on being able to get a different demographic on over to our boxing culture, and that shit is fucking dope.
Yeah. If I was DAZN, I would be on to see if Eddie would answer. We would get him on the show and tell him and put him on it because I'm the one put him on Logan Paul. Fucker ain't send me no check.
Man, the consultation fees, dog. You're gonna have to.
I got an interview with like a year and a half before Logan Paul and KSI fought on DAZN, telling him how good they did on their own and he should do it. And he laughed at me. Yo, there's not one video of this dude hitting the bags here, man. What's up with that?
Might be Mitts then. I mean, because he's had Fury. In camp before, or not in camp, but you know what I'm saying, like at his gym and stuff. He's had, who else has he had?
McGregor, he went head to head with McGregor.
Yep, him and McGregor got it in a little bit. He's a giant, dude. He's just towering. So it would be so crazy to see him in boxing gloves.
So I should try Thor McGregor.
Yeah, try
As a
that.
tag?
Try that. Fury, Thor Fury.
I like the McGregor one though, man, because like McGregor didn't have no gloves, no MMA gloves. He had hand wraps and knuckles. He was tagging Hafthor.
No.
Yeah, bro, you're right. You're absolutely right. But it's I don't know. It's cool too because like think about like other times in life when like something like rivals that have just built up. You know what I mean? So like just hearing the idea of two big guys fighting, I can understand. Doesn't sound like the most appealing thing in the world, but you got to understand the type of story they're going to be able to tell on like a 24/7 style, documentary style leading up to the fight type of thing. It's a huge rivalry. It's a massive rivalry. And I honestly, I know they're really friends. They honestly are, but there's a huge rivalry there.
But this is wrestling. What he's doing with McGregor is wrestling. Yo, this shit got 55 million views. Boxing's never seen 55 million views. Name the fight that got 55 million views.
I don't know. Mario, you know a little bit more from the team right now about this weightlifting business. Who the hell is Eddie Hall, for those that don't know?
I couldn't even find a picture of that bum.
Of Eddie Hall, really?
Yeah.
He from England. He a heavy hitter in the weightlifting game. But Mario, who is this guy?
Well, he is from the United Kingdom. Eddie Hall has won world man strong competition.
He looked like he fat as hell.
He's consumed. There's videos of how many calories he's consumed on YouTube, and I don't want to get the number wrong, so I'm not gonna say how much they were. But like, yo, he is a truck. This dude is a vacuum of calories,
Bruh.
and
Bruh,
Mario.
He is not taking the fight. There's no way this dude takes the fight.
Seven-figure payday.
Bruh, he gonna get bodied. Even though here he look better. He look better for photo shoots than he do in real life. In real life, his stomach is crazy.
Low. I could see him getting real low on Thor and just trying to land an overhand. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But
y'all looking at him. Y'all looking at him.
Yeah,
bruh, he's short as hell. Nah.
Yeah.
Man.
No. That picture right.
Look at that stomach, bro. He better go to wrestling. Yo, that's
bro. But those are look how thick those abs are.
While he got the Wilder mask on.
Bro, look
my man. Wait. Oh, what? He got the Darth Vader or what's my man Vader time?
He got the S&M outfit on.
You have to Listen, y'all have to understand those are off-season photos. Okay, the one where the original one you had with the abs.
Look at his
those
chest
are.
Right there, though.
I feel you, but those are off-season pictures. You have to understand that boxing and weightlifting are different. Yes, weightlifting, there's seasons to it, right? People go on season, off season. Like you bulk up or you shred. Those are the only two options. You know, the only people that always stay lean are guys that are on the magazines and guys that are YouTube. Like, you know, those are the only guys that stay lean is that make their money off of having six-pack abs.
How about dudes that just want to look good versus look good in competition and then go eat shit every other day?
That tire that he's smashing, that tire that you just showed us on the oh my god. He's as thick on his core as a tire. Yo, that's great.
His ab muscles are like the size of your fist.
His abs look fake though.
They're not though. That's how big those dudes get their abs. Like you don't understand. They don't do crunches like fighters or the wheel like fighters. They literally get like 300 pounds to do a crunch and like a get up. You know, they put sandbags and like 80 pounds on their feet and do leg raises. Like they're not endurance athletes. So when they build their abs, they build them to be like indestructible. Like I promise you, there's not a man on this world that could hit him with a body shot and affect him to the gut. I mean,
it's just a 3-round fight, then Mario, because like
it's gotta be.
That's a huge bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, my man's is huge. Like, how much? Because we all know about the oxygen and more muscles.
Damn, his YouTube channel got to 1,000. I'm in a milli. Yeah.
Bro, this weightlifting stuff is big business, man. It's big business.
Yeah, look at how he used to look right there. That's the real him. I wonder what happened.
What's up with my man posing kind of?
Yeah. He
Tire shot?
he cracked right there, Doomy when he got to that 1,000,000 subs. No, but look, he's already a little fishy. Look at this picture. It's like I said, he on some S&M shit, but to each his own.
Yo, that's funny to me. Listen, that's what I like about these guys, and that's why they would be good at a press conference and
wrestling.
He will not last, bro, with the mountain at all. I got
Mario,
a video of the mountain right here. I'm about to show y'all.
Mario, you don't see these guys getting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Look at the mountain. The mountain look at how the mountain moves compared to your man. Weirdo face over here. Look at your man right here.
Yo,
look at your man's right here, bro. Yo, what's up with your man's, bro? I wish I could lower this. I can't. You see, that's what I hate about desktop Instagram, bro. So ass.
Oh, my man's got little undies on.
You see
Chill,
that
champion.
shit? You see that? I'm telling you, my man is a little bit weird. But look, whatever.
But
man.
that would be here's the thing.
Yo, what
you
the
don't
fuck?
expect that. Yo,
that's.
Oh, they're doing what's it called? Over under training. Yeah, listen, God, look how much bigger he is than McGregor. Like y'all don't. You're wrong for that, bro. Why you putting that picture up?
Yo, they need to chill right here.
Yo,
They need to chill.
bro. Listen. That's what I'm saying, though. You wouldn't expect that from strongman. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't
think
expect
they gonna
that
have
from guys that
contest?
size. So yeah, no, hell no, fuck.
Yo, look at your man's right here. Look at your man's
You're
right
trolling.
here.
That's a good one. Look, bro, I'm telling you that it would make for so much. It would make for a really fun press conference having these two because they are very entertaining people. Eddie Hall's a funny dude.
Listen, I'm not against it the same way I'm not against the Logan Pauls of the world and all that shit, bro. What brings in fans. I would be interested because I even used to watch celebrity boxing. Like I watch Sticky Fingers fight whoever the fuck he fought. Like I watch that shit. Like I'm into that. I remember watching Oscar and De La Hoya. I mean, that's the same person. Oscar and Shaq. You know what I mean? Like, I watch it. Even if you put the big gloves.
Oh, damn. I remember that.
Even if you put the big gloves, I'm watching it, bro. Like, let me get it. So, yeah, if they could get the deal, whatever, let them get it. Next up, Arum Kownacki says he wants to rematch with Robert Helenius, man. Helenius is that dude right now. His phone's off the hook. He told us, I wonder what he does. Does he give Arum the rematch? And should Arum take that rematch, man? What do you think,
bro?
What
you thinking,
broski? No, don't do it, Kownacki, man. You just took your first fucking ass whooping. And, I mean, I get it. You want the rematch, you want to get back. You want to let the fans know that you're still their guy and all that shit. But you got, in my opinion, you got to get some more fucking tools under that belt that go forward, gun-ho, ultimate puncher. Go ahead, Ness. You got the scepter.
I just want to say, bro, that I hate to be that guy. I really do. Because he answers my phone calls and stuff, and then like this is the reason some of these dudes don't call me back anymore. You know what I mean? But he's trained by Chris Algieri's old trainer, Keith Trimble, which is a MMA trainer. Taekwondo and all that. Like, and he only took. I ain't gonna say he took Algieri too far because Algieri was first with another dude that let him out the cage. Then he got rid of him and was fucking with Keith and him at the same time. So I don't know, but the point is, does he need a new trainer? I mean, that's what we ask about everybody that suffers their first loss. We do.
I mean, look, and it's the best. I mean, look, Ness. I mean, emotions aside, like when you take a L, you as a fighter, first of all, you got to reflect and be honest with yourself, and you got to look at the things you did, things you didn't do, and the people around you, it's normal. It's a normal thing to look back and see, you know, what is it that I do wrong? And it takes even more wisdom to not just blatantly point the finger at something just because you don't want to take responsibility for certain things. But it's normal for somebody to take a look at the things that have been going on after a loss and try to see where they went wrong. So it's like, I don't know the guy you're talking about, whether he be an MMA guy or whatever it is. I mean, I'm the type of guy, I know combat, I know MMA, I know grappling, I know a lot of things. So it's like, it doesn't take away from my boxing. But I'm pretty sure as a boxing coach, if you're training MMA guys and a whole bunch of other guys and you're not really concentrating on the craft that boxing is, because it's a totally different craft from MMA, you might be lacking certain things. But you know, Kownacki has to, you know, just sit down and just be honest with himself and see if the style that we love, because I love his style as an entertainment, you know, but he has to look at it as a boxer in his future. If he can start making maybe some adjustments to his all-out onslaught kind of style that he has in order for him not to get pegged by guys like Helenius, that's who you're facing. If you wanted a title shot from a guy from Tyson Fury, you're going to expect that and much more. So you got to make these adjustments, man. And Helenius was a wake-up call.
Yo, listen, man, that sucks because I really was hoping that I was going to be the odd man on this. I really didn't. I really thought that both of y'all would come in and say, this is the perfect plan. But I agree with y'all. This isn't going to last very long because I agree with y'all. You know, somebody in the chat just said, I think it was Neutral Corner, maybe Kownacki is saying this hoping that, you know, he doesn't get called on his bluff. And that's what I'm really hoping. That was my initial thought is, you know, everybody says this. Everybody wants the rematch. Everybody says they want the rematch. But knowing that, you know, the rematch isn't always the best step. Sometimes it's a lateral move. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's the case or not, but I can just tell you that I really don't want him to go back to the Helenius fight right away. I'd rather him take, you know, something to kind of just get the cobwebs off and get back in the W column, because at the end of the day, he doesn't need to get that win back. I don't think. You know, I could be wrong, but I don't think he needs that win to advance his career. There's a lot of heavyweights out there.
Or is there any rematch clause of any sort?
I doubt it. We asked Helenius, and he didn't give us a direct answer, but it was basically no.
Yo, you know, the fact that you said he doesn't need it, it triggered a whole different thing, bro. I was about to be so aggressive, but you're right. He doesn't need it, like, to come back. Like, Abner Mars walked away from a knockout loss. Like, you don't have to avenge every loss, man. Is it a beautiful thing if you do? Of course. That being said, right, the question is, can his handlers actually get him, right, a tune-up? Because this was a tune-up. Gerald Washington knocked out Helenius. And if you do walk away from this rematch, I think it's more dangerous options out there. You know, Helenius is safer than Wilder and Ruiz and everyone else on that PBC side. Like, yeah, go do your rematch with Helenius and, you know, get those cobwebs off. Because then you can possibly fight Andy Ruiz. But, you know, you don't want to walk away, because then what if you end up fighting Andy or Lewis? Like, that's your comeback fight.
That's a great point. I didn't think of it. And listen, this is why we're the best, right? This is because we bring these different points of views, and we continue to evolve the subject matter, and we delve into these topics so that people, you don't have to go around the internet to look at it. And if you're watching this 7 days later, you can go to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice and check out all the new content that we have provided for everybody, from Freestyle Friday, which happens every Friday, where we started our own rap battle league with rankings and everything. Monday's Untitled, which is tomorrow, and I've already gotten a sneak peek at some of the topics we'll be talking about. They're going to be great. And Film Study Tuesday. Almost butchered it, but Film Study Tuesday. So go to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice. Check it out. Different tiers to fit your budget. But back to the subject. Yeah, man, it is very, 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 very different. And it could be more dangerous fights than him.
Let me just jump in since you're talking Patreon and let people know that we will be interviewing Jermaine Franklin tomorrow. It is on the calendar. So you guys can obviously head on over to Patreon and ask him a question because you're a patron, you know what I mean? And we want your questions for Jermaine Franklin, the heavyweight, you know, who claims he is, let me see here what he said. He says he's the only undefeated American heavyweight ranked in the top 50 in the world. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's the last hope is what he's trying to say.
He's ranked, what is he ranked?
In the top 50 in the world.
Top 50.
In the
20 and 0. Yeah, he I mean, like, obviously he still has to face some of the top guys, but hey, I'm rooting for my Americans.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, he, you know, we'll talk to him tomorrow and see where he's at and what his plans are. So Thor was the last subject. No, Kownacki. So I guess Mario and we all kind of touched on it. We all are basically on the same page. We're gonna open up these phone lines really quick. Want to say shout out to Smokin' Jay Franklin, my man, my pound for pound supporter for many years now. He received his care package. I'm glad that you got it because it sounds like Dominic did not receive his, which is crazy because it even went, I think y'all both in the same place, Washington, or at least the West Coast for sure. But yeah,
the UPS bandit got him, bro.
I hope not, man, because
I hope not too, man.
He harassed the hell out of me for that one. I hope he got that one. I mean, not harass. That's what you need to do. So you know. Harass is what you need to do if I owe you something because I be forgetting. Majid, I already sent that to you, champ. We're going to go open up these phone lines. 1425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Let us know your opinion on today's topics. Yeah, let's do it.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right, we're going to TJ. What up? TJ. Just listening. We going to Majid. What up? Going once, twice.
Campeón.
Just listening. Going to JT. You just hopped on, so I'm sure you just listening too, right? All right.
You Magic Mac right now.
All right, so we going to Info Joe. What up?
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, what's up, my boxing brothers?
Joe, what up?
How's everybody in TBV land?
All good.
That's right. On the topics, you know what? That is a trip that they have wrestling in school, and they don't have boxing, but they got wrestling and boxing in the Olympics. And it should be, you know, that wouldn't be bad to have that in school. You saw, you know, just as bad as football, you know, and wrestling, you know what I'm saying? They should have it in there. That'd be good, man. I remember the first time I put on gloves was on my block, man. They would just bring out the gloves on the block. And on my block, it was like about 30, 40 kids, easy. You know what I'm saying? And we would pass the gloves around, and there'd be some older dude matchmaking. But that was my first experience, but it wasn't with nobody teaching. You know what I'm saying?
It was always the older dude matchmaking.
Yeah, some old dude on the block. He older than all of us. He matchmaking. You couldn't plug out shit. Dudes, getting bloody noses and all kind of shit.
What you scared?
Right. And far as Mike Tyson, man, Ness, man, ain't none of these dudes explosive as he was or quick, man. These new heavyweights, man. Mike Tyson sealing like a beast, man. Hey, I say put him in there with Dominique Brazil. I know they not. He gonna deal with the exhibition, you know what I'm saying? But I think he'll knock out Dominic Brazil, man. Right about now. Am I tripping?
Man, I don't think it happens because I think you're right. And I think Brazil's like, yo, I got everything to lose.
Brazil, man, that's a big fight for Brazil, bro. That's going to be the hugest pay-per-view in forever in a day.
Nah, I'm fucking around, though. I don't know if Brazil loses that fight for real.
Hey, I'm going with Iron Mike.
I don't know if Mike could go past 5 rounds, man.
You want to root for Mike, man, but like the gas is like the only thing that you might just be questioning.
Mike been smoking heavy too,
and hand-eye coordination too. Like he was looking good hitting the mitts, but a moving body that hits back is different,
And Brazil don't.
Did he do that for
That's true.
Rounds?
That's true.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Bro,
and
my
he
man
been
like
smoking big
57.
weed.
He like 57. He need to go sit down. Stop thinking about fighting. To be honest with you, but listen,
you need to sign up to Border Wars.
We all gonna watch it, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
watching.
Motherfuckers gonna catch COVID over that fight.
Yo, Mike Tyson is like the
like,
Justin
Joe,
Bieber
I'm coming through,
for grown
Joe.
men.
I'm coming through, Joe. I got a mask, all right?
Word. We really gonna be hot boxing with Mike. But that's all I got. Hey, what was the thing with the Charlo and Benavidez? He caught back or what? I came in a little late.
This is Rosario. He
was saying that. Hey, I've been meaning to tell you too when we talked about this last time. Far as him got only 2 years left, so I say 4 fights. He need a pay-per-view on his way out, man. If he only gonna do 4 fights, average 2 fights a year, one of them got to be a pay-per-view, and that could be it.
I mean, the only pay-per-view out there for him, champ. But that is Bud Crawford. We going to Trey in the Bay. What up? Just listening. You rocking? All right, going to Trey in the Bay. What up? I hear you now.
Yeah, man. What up, y'all? Hey, quarantine ain't over out here, but it's over, man. I rode by the beach yesterday. I'm talking about it was packed. I'm like, what? These people done lost their mind, man. The sun that came out is feeling like summertime, and everybody running around like nothing going on, I just been on my motorcycle riding by myself, minding my business, watching all these crazy folks. But Charlo want Rosario. He don't care no matter what. He don't care about the crowd. And then I guess maybe he not trying to let them belts get away, huh? He trying to get them while he can.
Well, he also got a timeline. Remember, he trying to retire in 2 years, so he can't be waiting for crowds.
Oh, okay. Whatever, man. Maybe he made enough money, and maybe he want to get out before he started looking crazy.
Nah, he definitely. They made enough money. That's why I ain't never heard nobody say.
To tell you.
Hell yeah, I ain't never heard nobody say they want to retire at 32. So he doing all right. Like I always hear boxers say 36 before 40, but 32, my man's still young.
Else did we cover this? What else did we cover, man? I missed some of the. I was
here. You had to be here for that other subject. Thor versus Eddie Hall and Bob Arum. Oh, that's the good one. Bob Arum said he want to drop the pay-per-view prices to from 80 to 40.
Sound good to me. And now would be a good time to get good pay-per-views from the people who do got money. The problem is a lot of people aren't working. Maybe they opening a few things up and a few people getting back to work. But I'm down for the 40. I'm still working, so I can afford it right now. But that's it. That's my call. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Trey. Yeah, man, that is the problem, man. It's everything is down, bro. Everything is down, but people still trying to be entertained. That's for sure. Everybody's going out. Trey experiencing all the way in the West Coast what I'm experiencing on the East, man. People they gave up on quarantine. Cincinnati, what up, Brandon?
Hey, what's going on with you fellas?
All good. Another day, another podcast.
Hell yeah, I feel it. As far as Bob Arum, I'm on the fence with that, man. I'm kind of reading between the lines with that.
What you
It
mean?
depends on what fight.
You don't want to pay less?
Man, I'm about to explain it. Now, if he talking Errol Spence, Sean Porter, them type of opponents versus Bud for 40, I'm with it. But I got a feeling if them fights come about, we ain't paying 40 for them. He's going to make us pay 40 for Kell Brook and Bud versus fucking Disputing, somebody that we should be getting for free. So I don't trust. I'm telling y'all what
Would you be
what the
mad
Knicks
if it wasn't even a Crawford? If it was some of the other fighters?
It depends on the fight. If it ain't some shit we should be getting for free, I don't even want to pay the 40. So it just depends on what fight. Like I said, if you're talking about a discounted super fight, then I'm all for it. But don't try to sell us some shit that we should be getting for free for the 40 because it's Loma versus, a guy it should be free. Now, if he's doing T.O. versus Loma for 40, that's a good $40 fight. But as far as why boxing ain't popular amongst kids, man, it's a lot of shit that goes into that. For one, kids, they find out about sports through the big stars. The guy with the shoes in the store, the guy with the jerseys, playing Madden and video games. My son learned about most football players and basketball players from playing with them on 2K and Madden and shit. And right now ain't no boxing game. So,
bruh, Brandon,
You're right. You're right, though. No boxing game right now.
The article spoke about that. The last time it was a boxing game was 9 years ago.
They shut down the servers for fight night.
And this before my time, y'all was talking about how big Mike Tyson was. How much y'all think Mike Tyson Punch Out or whatever the fuck his game was had to do with that back in the day? Just the marketing of boxing. It ain't the same as football. Ain't no LeBrons of boxing. Ain't no Steph Curry's of boxing. Ain't no gym shoes they can go grab. Ain't no Air Jordans and no jerseys or nothing. So that's the reason why boxing ain't that big. As far as the Thor shit, I watched The World's Strongest Man with Thor and Brian Shaw, and I used to be into it with Jonas Vickers back in the day, but I ain't real big into gimmick boxing matches where guys with no experiences, kind of make a mockery of the sport. So in my opinion, Thor and all them cats, just stick to the strongman shit. It is entertaining watching them cats throw up Atlas stones and lift up cars and shit. Just stick to that, man.
You went hardcore fan on us right now. You don't think that some of the fans can spill over?
That would be dope with Brian Shaw.
Yeah, some fans will spill over, especially if you do like Brian Shaw and Thor, because it's America versus Iceland. Ain't Thor from like Iceland, so you'll get a little rivalry going. But like I said, I just don't like gimmick. Not just from these guys. I don't even like when Floyd do the gimmicky matches and shit with Asians and shit. I just don't like that shit, man. It kind of makes a mockery of the sport. So that's my opinion on that. Stick to lifting up. Last topic. Kownacki. I've been on here for the past couple years saying Kownacki was the goods. He's a fat guy who throws a lot of punches.
Crazy, he wasn't interested in the Thor Eddie like as a hardcore, and I'm pretty sure that us as hardcores always got a little beef with stuff like this. I mean, I had the beef with Ness when he was like rooting for the Logan Paul stuff and all that stuff, and like even though I kind of got the whole future and social media part about it, I wasn't feeling it as a hardcore, and I didn't accept it at the beginning. Mario, like, how good do you think this is for like the sport of boxing? I mean, we love boxing. How good is it for the sport of boxing if a guy like Thor and Eddie, go ahead and sign like with a big promotional company like The Zone. They could put the sport out there in a lot of eyeballs,
Yeah, listen, I think it's very lucrative. I think it could do very well for boxing. I get where he's coming from as far as gimmick fights go, and I do understand associating this with Logan Paul and KSI and the YouTube guys, because at the end of the day, those are the guys. Like, these guys are still on YouTube. These guys are still technically YouTubers, right? But to me, it's different. These are athletes. I mean, it's. I'm not gonna liken it to Michael Jordan going from basketball to baseball, but in a way, it's a small version of that, where these guys are still professional athletes. These guys still deserve respect as athletes, so they want to try a different sport. Okay, why not? You know what I mean? And if it's as lucrative as it would be for him to play baseball, then you cannot hate on that man, because he is willing to do something that somebody's going to pay him for.
So this is like basically two huge athletes in their own respective fields just trying to duke it out. How do we get a guy like Eddie Hall or my man Hafthor on the show? You know what I'm saying? To kind of like get a sense for like the respect that he has on combat, because obviously he's a fan, right? How do we get an insight, in order to make the fans, hardcore fans that is, at least believers, you know what I mean?
We could do that. I think we could do that through his sparring partner. We just got to text him to say, hey, could you get Thor? I mean, I don't know how busy that dude is.
I mean, look, I think that Thor would like the opportunity to come over here and try to make fans of us, boxing fans, that are going to be the reason this is successful or not. Are we going to cover it? Are we going to give him the time of day? Is this going to get the coverage that it deserves? It's going to be up to us.
What's the dude from Iceland's name?
His name was, it wasn't the Italian guy, right?
Wait, which guy from Iceland?
Oh, it's Colbin Christensen.
Yes, there you go. Man, good remembering his name.
Good recall, champion.
Recall. There you go. Thank you, Doomy. I was sounding all kinds of stupid.
I went to his IG.
Well, then that's cheating, so never mind.
IG is the way.
Colbin.
I was thinking it was John Bowser at first, because we had them around the same time, but it was definitely not John Bowser.
Nah, he's from Puerto Rico, John Bowser.
Yeah.
Bro, do you guys even know how sad I was? Because like one of the ideas that I had for us, was for us to get like a fight night thing going and all that. When I found out that the servers for fight night were down, they officially closed them down. 2020 guys.
What?
Who plays Fight Night?
Who
plays Fight Night? What device is that even on?
It's on PS4 and Xbox. The game was still working. Like, you could still go in and play the community.
I don't even know if I have a PS4.
Broski, but like you don't even know how huge. Oh man, like I really had high expectations for it, because I felt like, the TV fam, a lot of us out there do have those gaming systems, and gaming being so huge, and us not having boxing, I had high hopes that we could do something where we could like face each other. We could have, just for example, like J Mac versus fucking CYP in a fight night showdown, and I just had high expectations. When I found out that the servers were down, bro, I fucking just like, I went all over the internet, and I know I probably got to do more research, but like I was scouring the internet for other boxing games where we could participate and really get at each other, you know what I'm saying, in the gaming kind of stage, man. And fight night's just not fucking there with the servers, dog. It's sad.
Let me go to some calls. We got Robert Ortiz in Vegas. What up?
Yo, first of all, Ness, you are so crazy ignorant, like, talking about powerlifting. Like, dude, I literally today worked out with the number one, like, power lifter in the state of Nevada. He's going to nationals in July, hopefully. And dude, he's got a giant belly. All those dudes you need it. That's where the power comes from, man. It's different. That's their energy. And if they do any type of conditioning, it actually makes it worse for them. They literally have to try to not sweat. It's stupid, but they're not pretty. I'll tell you that they are not. They are a bunch of beasts. You could see it on my Instagram, but they lift freaking heavy. It's crazy.
But
so
they
your
can't
ignorance
fight.
is like
they can't fight. I don't know how I'm ignorant.
I'm not.
I never said that they look good
because
or bad.
You're making fun of you're making fun of them. And the way you were saying it is that you're basically...
It's not my preference.
You're basically saying they look out of shape. You're saying they look out of shape.
He totally
but they
looks
are
out
the
of
type
shape in
shape
those
that
pictures.
They need to be.
He totally looks out of shape
But
in the
I'm
pictures
telling
that
you,
I screen
he
shared.
might look out of shape, but he is an absolute best in the whole world at performing his given sport. And that's what those guys look like.
I mean, look.
So that ignorance is there.
I'm sorry to have,
struck a chord.
Offended you, but your man got titties.
You didn't offend me. I just felt bad for Mario because Mario's trying to explain it to you guys, and because he powerlifts, and you guys were just chuckling at him.
Because
so it's like, nah, dude, that's how those guys look. They're not out of shape.
But that's all right. That's not appealing to me. Like titties in the belly ain't appealing for a male.
Okay, that's I understand. I don't know why you're worried about, what's attractive to you as far as the male physique, but either way, that's what's required of their sport.
That's the whole point. I don't want to look at that. It's not appealing. You're telling me that it is appealing. I'm saying it's not appealing. So, you need to worry about why
Well, I'm not saying it's not appealing to me either, but there's it's appealing to Mario.
You the one arguing that he's not in shape or in shape. I'm not arguing. Yo, you got hella background noise. You got like your whole family playing. What the hell?
Rob, so what are you saying? A fight like this will make us think otherwise?
I know he's not saying that, and you got to ask what his kids are saying first.
As far as actually making a fight out of this thing, I'll move into a quieter room. As far as making a fight out of this thing, I'm talking to dudes that actually charge people money for amateur fights, for dudes that are extremely overweight to get in the ring and with headgear and big gloves. So why not, man? Who cares? Let's see it. I think that's the part of what all boxing
why
fans,
you took a shot at Border Wars fighters, but you afraid to fight?
No, I'm not taking a shot.
You just
said
with guys that are overweight. Yo, our guys start. Our guys start overweight. All right, they start overweight.
Hold on. Yeah, that's fair. But for whatever your agenda is as to why you have Border Wars, regardless of the fact, we're not looking at two of the greatest in the world fighting each other. We're looking at regular Joes, people out of shape, some guys who
you don't got to convince me because everybody on the panel is for it. So, you got to maybe listen to the show.
I know, but one of the last callers wasn't, and I think it's just cool. Who cares? Let's just watch it, see what happens.
How do you feel about VADA testing?
That's one element.
That's a low blow though, because
they will not be doing any fucking VADA testing.
No, they won't. But at the same time, why should they really? If they both know what time it is, you know what I mean? I took steroids. If I was on juice and somebody came along that was on juice, and they wanted to play basketball, I would, to me, it's a fair thing. I mean, you know what I mean? But if somebody came up to me and was like, I don't want to play basketball one-on-one with you because you're on steroids. All right, cool. That's fine. Whatever. But to me, it's they're both on it. They both been on it for years. They both understand what it is. If they want to take that risk, I think, you know what I mean? That's different from somebody cheating.
Champ. Not in our sport.
Main event or undercard?
They better cycle off, man, before they even write the contract and let it dry. Get out of here. King Born, what up?
Hey. What's going on, guys? I want to give a shout out to to Info Joe, Train the Bay. Let's keep it real. We already know Tyson would sleep Kownacki. I said it. Yes, I said it. Let's keep it real. And I'm gonna tell you one thing too, also, right? The reason why Tyson is always loved because this was a man. Now I'm from Brooklyn, right? I'm from Crown Heights. Crown Heights borders Brownsville. You know what I mean? The reason why everybody loves Tyson because there has never been such a ferocious and feared fighter that lost. Also, as a black man, they saying that he raped the girl at 3 o'clock in the morning. He never said he raped the girl. So the man went to jail for 3 years. A lot of brothers be like, yo, I could ID with that. Yo, I got locked up. Whatever. I wasn't supposed to get locked up. Come back, get the money again, fall off, and then everybody loves Tyson because he's the most down-to-earth, humblest boxer ever. Have you ever seen the picture when he was back in the 1980s and a homeless man, a white homeless man, Tyson just walked up to him and gave him like
I did see that. He was wearing them short shorts on that pic.
Yes. He had the Bo Jacksons on. Know what I mean? So that's why Tyson is the most loved. And let me tell you something. That's why there will never, ever be another Tyson. Have you seen his interview? Did you see his interview with when he with Sugar Ray Leonard and he started crying?
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
nobody like Tyson.
Absolutely.
He looked like a warrior. He will sleep Kownacki. He will sleep motherfucking what's his name? Brazil. Come on, man. Look at it. Now, yeah. But listen, even if he don't have the stamina, give him 5 rounds. He'll knock one of them boys out. Trust me.
They gonna take him to deep water, man. The blueprint been out
no,
on
they
Tyson.
Not. Yo, listen.
Come on,
Yo,
man.
Ness, you need to stop that.
Bruh.
You 41.
Bruh, when
you
Tyson,
41.
when
Stop
Tyson
acting
was
like
fighting,
you 21. You a young boy
bruh,
like
when
Brandon and them.
When Tyson
Stop
was
it. You
fighting,
know what time it is.
All right. Why he
You
couldn't?
know what time
why
it is.
he ain't knock out Danny Williams then?
You know what?
Why he ain't knock
I'ma
out
do
Danny
you one
Williams
better.
then?
Would you? Listen.
Exactly.
Fuck all that. Let's go to Shannon Briggs. That would be a good fight, y'all. I ain't gonna front. Shannon Briggs and Tyson battle with Brownsville. That'd be good. That'd be good, y'all.
It'd be good on a like, you know, on a DAZN card, man. On a bring him back type of like exhibition type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but yeah, man. I mean, yo, y'all gotta remember there was a time where Tyson was fighting, you know, 12-round fights and like couldn't get a win. So now y'all think y'all seen him do 2 seconds of pad work. He gonna come back.
Yo, you know it's crazy right now. It's like, people just want that 2-round knockout Tyson back.
They just dying for that sort of person, man. That's it. But there's no way, bro. Like he couldn't knock out Danny Williams, bro. Like it was like, yo, you kidding me? Like
I wouldn't put Tyson up against any of the top heavyweights. I would put him up against like guys like you know, Shannon Briggs and you know guys that are, you know, are in the same kind of realm of age.
Shannon Briggs,
yo, Father Time kicks ass, bro.
Bruh. Shannon Briggs at least has fought in this decade, bro. Like y'all disrespectful, man.
Yo, but you gotta understand.
Mine easy. Tyson ain't fought since 2005, man.
Was that his last exhibition?
I'm talking about his last fight.
No, I mean he had some exhibitions recently. I mean a few years back.
I ain't never
and he actually KO'd the guy. I mean he knocked the guy out, Ness, and he actually grabbed him up to hold him up so that he wouldn't fall. Like Tyson was, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna knock you out real quick, but I'm gonna carry you standing and shit.
Shit was
you know,
staged.
He's what?
It was staged.
Bro, it wasn't staged, bro. He put the guy out with a right hand. That same right hand that he showed us in the pad work. That last right hand, bow. Yo, that's his signature move. But again, I'm not putting up Tyson again. I would not hesitate, my
Bruh.
bro, to pay $40 in my man Bobby Arum's kind of way. You know what I'm saying? $40 for like a Mike Tyson or whatever. $80. Damn, I'd probably be thinking about it just because I know what how much of a hardcore fan I am, and I know that this shit wouldn't really.
Tyson won't win the round, man.
Against who? Shannon Briggs?
I mean, maybe Shannon, maybe.
I mean, how much credit do you give Shannon in that fight? Is it like a 5-round fight?
I don't
Shannon
even,
gets pulverized,
or
do we get a competitive exhibition or charity or whatever the fuck you want to call it? Excuse my language.
Bro, I don't even think of Shannon, bro. Like, that's you interjecting Shannon into my life. Like, I don't even.
Bro, I gotta put that "Let's Go" champ in there.
He's not even like, he's like Rocky to me, bro. He's like a character. He's not a fighter.
So you really put him in there? I mean, is Shannon
It's
Briggs
not me.
ranked? Is he ranked?
Listen to me.
Tell me the truth.
Listen to me. It's not me. Hell no, he ain't ranked. It's not me putting Mike in there with people. It's these callers. They calling here talking about he'll sleep Brazil and he'll sleep Kownacki. Like, it ain't me.
He'll beat Usyk.
My man couldn't beat Danny
He ain't
Williams,
beating no Usyk. Yo, he ain't beating no Kownacki, and I don't think he beats Brazil either.
Witherspoon,
bro, when he used to train, when he used to spar, when he used to run, he couldn't beat Danny Williams. But y'all talking about he about to come back.
So you call this a big ass blow up of fanaticism? This
Hell
like
yeah.
mad fanaticism.
Is people lusting over the past, man?
Damn. Yo, I might be just guilty of that.
Dog, like, everybody seen him do pad work and seen the old Mike and want to wish. We want to wish, but there's no way. You could look at Mike and see how old he fucking look, man. You kidding me? His skin cracking.
Damn. But yo, even though I'm just a fanatic and when I tell you that my whole feed was Mike Tyson punching the pads, it was just all of that. I loved it. I fell in love with it, man. Like I would really pay for something to see Mike Tyson again. Like, that's the effect he's had on my life, dog.
That's the problem, man. We need to find a way to get other fighters on that level.
But I mean, you know what's another thing that interested me was that a Mike Tyson Shannon Briggs, this is just all hypothetical, right? A Mike Tyson Shannon Briggs fight would be okay. I would pay for it, but I would be okay without having the whole crowd and the audience and all that stuff. Like, I would love to see like we're in these times, but we're gonna fight type of fight. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of eyes would tune into something like this.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this picture I posted this morning on Instagram of Tyson smoking a joint. It's just like people forgetting that. They forget my man. My man smoked too now.
Yo, but I'm saying, ain't you one of those people that like smokes before he goes spar and shit? Like,
absolutely. Yeah, what does that matter? That's what I'm tripping.
Absolutely.
Like, yo, I swear to God, bro, me and Ness drive to the gym. We got like a 30-40 minute ride over there, and my man throws it in the air real quick, and it doesn't seem to affect him in the gym. Yeah. I mean, I can't say how much it would probably affect the fighter under the lights and in competition, because obviously that's a whole fucking other monster. But like, do you really think that Mike Tyson is like sitting there smoking as much blunts as we do?
Hell yeah, bro. Mike go in, bro. He got his own ranch. They rolling. They got rolling machines, man. But let me get to Stonebone. Talk to us.
What up? Let me see. Charlo Rosario. It's time for it. It's time for him to get a unification fight. The last two done slipped away. The Jerry Hurd, then the J-Rock, and now if the third one slip away, 3 strikes you out. He might not get another unification chance. He gonna be moving up to 160 before that happens, or he gonna. That's a big fight for him. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how pay-per-view it is or how on that level, but it can be built up. If he go in there and knock J-Rock out again, and Charlo knocks somebody out, it'll be a big fight. Um, $40 pay-per-view, man, sound good to me. I feel like a couple fights that we probably wouldn't have to pay for, we might pay for it now just because it's gonna be like a 25,000 seat stadium and they can only put 25% capacity or something like that. So ticket sales gonna be hurting. They're gonna be trying to sell a little bit of product so they can get ratings and funding through like ads and different things like that on the other fights that they putting on. Um, Mike, man, listen. Mike Tyson will get knocked out by any of the top 20 heavyweights right now. You talking about a 50-some-year-old man who he right now smoking a joint, talking to somebody on camera. He ain't worked out. He just punched the bag. And if they would have showed the video after that, he probably would have been huffing and puffing so hard. You'd have been like, dude, you threw 3 punches. You acted like you just did a whole 6-round boxing workout or something. And I got the solution for Tyson. We can get these old people knocked off. Go on and put Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali and put Tyson and her little brother in there. You know what I mean? See if Tyson can get some give back for Ali Bashir. We gotta do something like that, man. Because if not, we wasting time. And he should challenge them to a deadlift off. How about they just up it by 25 pounds every time they lift? Why don't they do that? I don't want to see them in the ring. Why don't they do a deadlift competition? That'll do crazy ratings for the weightlifting community, and they can go lift it, boom, boom. They do it, put 25 more on there, or 50 more on there, or whatever the floor to the ceiling is. I don't know how many steroids Mario done took. I don't know how many he doing. So they probably doing picking up 600 pounds. Go for 800 or something. Mario, man, leave them drugs alone, man. It's gonna fuck up your rap career, man. I thought it was the lean and the pills and all that shit. Normally, that's what you worry about the rappers. Now we got to worry about Mario ODing on steroids. Get him in check, man. He don't want to go out like Barry Bonds with a big head and a little dick and nuts like Barry Bonds wife said on that interview. She said it's made his head big and his nuts and his penis strong. So Mario, you better be careful on them steroids, man. Catch y'all in the morning.
Will do. Yo, just for the record, though, mine was from a doctor because of low T. So, and I'm not going to lie. Yes, I may have, taken a little more than I probably should have in a given cycle. But, yeah, nowhere near what these guys take. I promise you. I've done 3 cycles in my life. And it was in the span of like 6-7 years. So it wasn't, what I'm saying? It was off and on, off and on. I cycle off and on. And I'm in my 30s too. So that's a big thing. Once you get in your 30s, you just don't feel the same, man. Like I used to be able to work out and chill and nothing hurt and nothing ache. And now, man, I deadlift and I'm fucking done for a week, bro.
Damn.
Fucking deadlift.
Getty, Harlem. Just listening. All right. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, my fault, man. It'd be taking a minute to turn off the mute button. But I'm gonna piggyback off of what. Well, first off, my fault, y'all, man. How y'all living, man? How y'all living?
All good, brother. How are you?
I'm good, bro. Thank you.
Bless.
Hope you're good too, man.
Nah, everything is blessed, man. Everything is definitely blessed, man. Was chilling with my niece actually today, but to piggyback off of what Mario was saying, man, to get to the other topics is I'm just gonna focus on health. Mario just alluded that when you turn 30, your body starts feeling different, so forth and so forth. I challenge that because I feel like if you're taking care of your body on a consistent basis, your 30s you're gonna feel like you're supposed to feel. You feel what I'm saying? There's a reason why we have athletes that can go as long. I use Mayweather, for example, in terms of just health. That's all that I'm just speaking into conditioning and And we need that. We need that type of knowledge in schools. If we're going to promote boxing, if we want to put funding behind boxing, we need to also educate the kids on the science behind it, because it is good character building. And character building is just one of the many words that they use in these contracts to get these fundings. Because I know in New York, all the government funding, they want all their kids to lose weight. You know, they want them to be active. That whole 60-second thing that they did with the NFL, you know, I've seen that here. I've seen a little bit of that here in New York, but in a basketball form. They really want to keep these kids active throughout the city. That's just what I see in terms of recreational work here in the schools. But that's just my call, man. Yo, y'all stay blessed. And this has definitely tuned in for Friday. Great promotions will be there. We currently ranked 7, and we soon to be number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday, though, champ. We moving that to Saturday. Like I said, we're going to make it his own show, individual. So, yeah, man, that's everybody. We got King Amin on the line with a dude, champ. Amin, what up?
Peace, y'all. What's going on?
All good, all good.
Hey, really just listening, man. But that just real quick, man. That whole Fury to Mike Tyson, everybody watched that, and it's just nostalgia, man. But you know, I think I put something next. I don't know if it was on the Boxing Voice joint. If they had a league that was something like the Big Three for old heads, you know what I'm saying? Do 6-round fights, 8-round championship joints. You got to be at least 48 years old, minimum of 200 pounds, maximum of 220. And these old dudes just get it on, man. I think it'll be fun, man. Lennox Lewis, and I don't know, man. So that's my call, man. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
You know, that's just us, though. That's just us, man. Like, if we could, we would have Michael Jordan still playing basketball, man. You know, we don't know if these dudes still want to fight. Like, he doing pad work. We don't know if he want to go in there and do 12 rounds, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever many rounds. You know,
he ain't doing no 12.
You know, we don't know if they up for that shit no more. But yeah, man, that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one, mañana in the morning. We out.
That's Alex underscore Doomsday underscore LAINEZ on Instagram, and Alex Linus TBV on Twitter. Don't forget to check us out. Tomorrow we'll be right back with you in the morning. You know how I get down. Get your cup of coffee. Get your cup of tea. If you're across the pond and you take it sideways, whether you drink coffee or tea, join us. Cheers.
At Mario Mugi on Twitter, at Mario Mugi on Instagram. We will be dropping Izzy and my man, who was it? It was Izzy and Sony, who battled last Friday. We'll be dropping that video pretty soon, probably by tomorrow, and have the rankings out as well. And good looking to Sony for doing them rankings. They came out so well. I thought they were so great. No, they really were. They're awesome. And he put a lot of work into them, and he has real good reasons why people are ranked at a certain spot. So, yeah, peace.
I got to make my debut still, champ. I had to go back and reevaluate things. I thought I was going to come in here and just off the dome, but
call you stunner.
It's serious out here in TBV freestyle in the booth with TBV on Saturdays. It's no joke. I got to come correct.
No jokes, man. No
freestyle. That's why you rank 10.
Damn, I'm even happy you ranked me that high.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. These
committee ranked you.
These rankings is bogus. They was trying to give you a mandatory. Dudes ain't even fought. Look, my man ain't even said nothing in these rank. I'm out, man. Deuces. Crazy.